Here we are, back in the woods. And when you're in the woods, you like to do some thinking. I've been doing a lot of that. So I think it's time for us to get in the woods and have some conversations that I feel like we don't have enough in the wrestling community. And if you hadn't guessed by my incredible feat of athleticism, let's talk about Cody Rhodes, formerly known Stardust. Let's talk about the current WWE champion. Because I've seen a lot of talk about Cody and his title reign, or him as a star, especially since this feud with John Cena. And I just think it's time to, let's just get everything out there, and I really want to open this up, to a lot of people, to everyone, really, because I think it's such an interesting. I think this debate, or whatever you want to call it, is so interesting because, I think a lot of people have agendas against Cody Rhodes, because I think some people hold on to the fact that he left all them years ago and became a successful guy outside of WWE. He was a big part in the creation of AEW, which obviously is the biggest competition to WWE in about 20 years or so. I think some people just, they never rated him, and, instead of trying to open their minds and, admit that they were wrong or whatever, they would much rather, die on the hill that they are right and everyone's wrong. And then there are those who, hate because it's easy. It's so much easy to hate on a wrestler or a gimmick or a story or a match, because that's easy. It's ridiculously easy in this community to just hate for no reason, and spread a narrative that just, in my opinion, isn't the truth. And then there are those who obviously hate Cody because he beat Roman Reigns a year ago, becoming the champion. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm a Roman Reigns guy. Okay, I am more of a Roman fan than I am a Cody fan. But at the same time, get over it. Like, who cares, man? Who cares? Like, it's not that deep. Anyway, let's stop here and now.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Good, okay. But yeah, I think it's too easy in this community, to find things to obviously hate about, and obviously, we will get to the other things. But I really just wanted to focus on Cody, because obviously we are almost a year away from him becoming the champion for the first time, and I just think it's very interesting to look at the opinions and the conversations of people when they talk about him as champion. And I just think I think it's like in this community, you're gonna get a lot of people who just say stuff just for the sake of saying things. Like it's about views and engagements and whatever, and that's all fine. But it's the fact that these these things then become actual legitimate like conversations, and I'm just there like, why are we having this? Like, why? It makes no sense. It's driven by hate, and it's driven by, I don't know. I think it's a need. It's a need to stand out. You know, in a world where everyone's uh, opinions are everywhere now. It's become cool to be a different person. It's become cool to say no. It's become cool to not like things. You know what I'm saying? And I think Cody Rhodes is probably the biggest uh, example. He's as a character, he's a very uh, earnest, honest. He's old school, you know, and it's funny because under Vince McMahon, it felt like we were never gonna get that level of character because it didn't work with John Cena. Like don't let history fool you. It didn't work with John Cena. Like you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until 2015ish when a lot of the fans embraced him because he took more of a serious, I guess, a serious shift, in his ca- character. It didn't work with Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you live through those times where it becomes cool to boo, you know, the hero, I think a lot of people were kind of expecting the same, or even they were hoping that that same thing for Cody, and it hasn't happened. And I think that annoys a lot of people because they want to boo him because it makes them look cool. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case because Cody Rhodes is not John Cena. He's not the big dog Roman Reigns. He's actually over. He's actually very well appreciated, and you know he's actually a good baby face. Like you know, um, and I find it interesting that we bring up John Cena and Roman Reigns because those are the two people who obviously Cody Rhodes has been compared to over this past year. People saying that he isn't as big as a star of Roman Reigns, which I'm gonna agree with. Yeah, like he isn't. But Roman Reigns has been the guy since 2015, and it wasn't until 2020 that it finally you know it finally worked. Um, John Cena was the guy, and it wasn't really until I don't even know when, like, because, you know, the fans, they wanted, you know, Punk over Cena, Bryan over Cena. I think it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't really until probably 2015 or whatever. That's when people really embraced him. But Cody Rhodes came back in 2022, and everyone said that is the guy. That is the guy to carry the company. He's got everything. And since then, I don't think he's really put a foot wrong, you know? Um, so I find it, I mean, I'm not surprised. This is what we do, you know? People, they root for the good guy, and they're there until they're not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, I'm I'm bored now. Let's boo him. You know. But I find it funny because there was that talk of it, after he became champion, but it was just them not talking about it. It was just a very tiny piece of the community talking about it. But if you look at the crowds and everything else, they love the guy, and it's like, of course they do, of course they do. He's a top five babyface. He's probably the and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this right now. Cody Rhodes is the best ba- babyface in WWE as a top guy, probably since Stone Cold. Like he because I'm gonna say this right now. Vince McMahon would have killed. He would have killed just for half of the reception and the admiration that Cody gets. He would have killed just to have that for a Roman Reigns, for a, a Cena in 2008. He would have killed for that. You know what I'm saying? And so not only is that a testament to how good he is as a character, it is a testament to obviously how in this new era of WWE, they they know what makes a good babyface. They know what makes a good top guy, you know? Um so yeah, and I think people will always have these conversations, and I think it is stupid. But I think what's stupider is the people who then actually turn them into legitimate conversations, and they try to convince you that Cody isn't working, which is just it's so wrong. Like that's not the case at all. Um, Apparently he's boring, which makes zero sense. Apparently he can't wrestle, which once again makes zero sense because his match against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble was fantastic, so makes sense of that. Apparently, and this is a brand new one. He's not a good promo. Yeah. Uh, Apparently Triple H has been protecting Cody Rhodes in having a promo uh, battle against John Cena. Yeah, because apparently John Cena is gonna like ev- eviscerate him, on the microphone, which once again, like I get that sentiment. John Cena is very well known for fine speech and all that stuff, and yeah, like and I would love to see a promo, a back and forth one, But once again, people acting as if Cody Rhodes can't cut a promo makes no sense because 2 months earlier they were telling me how Cody Rhodes should turn heel because he's a good promo, and imagine the heel promos he could cut. Is he good promo or is he terrible? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. I think they moved the goalposts so much because they just don't like him. But I think here's the cherry on top, right? Here's the cherry on top. It doesn't matter what they do now. They are a tiny portion of 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 the community, but they're very very loud. They're very very loud, and all they do is they slap on a Roman Reigns P- PFP, you know, and they tweet whatever, right? Um, you know, I think yeah, they've made being a Roman Reigns fan or a Bloodline fan a lot less fun than it was 2 years ago. But it is what it is. I'm gonna just say this. I think it's funny that everywhere you go, I'm seeing comments about Cody Rhodes and saying, "Oh, he's so boring and he sucks and he should turn heel and he's a mid carder and wow wow wow." But I guarantee you, in 10 years' time, when they are hating on the next big thing and they're hating on the newest top guy, who are they going to be comparing that person to? It's going to be, oh, I miss Cody Rhodes. He was so good. It's the good old days, you know? It was peak WWE, you know? And I guarantee you they will, because they did the same thing to John Cena and they did the same thing to Roman Reigns. And they're going to do it again. And they can't see that because their head is so far up their own arses. And it's like, that is the level of mental gymnastics that they do to try and convince you and other people that Cody Rhodes is a terrible. Apparently he is a terrible champion, which to me is so funny because all they can do is compare him to Roman Reigns and John Cena. Yeah, at their at their top as like baby faces, they couldn't achieve half of the success or the fan reaction in multiple years that Cody has done in 1 year. And isn't people will say, "Oh well, I'm a Cody crybaby." No, that's not it at all. Like I said, I am way more of a Roman fan than I am a Cody fan. Like undeniably, Roman Reigns, I will argue very well could be the greatest of all time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I will argue that. You know, untouchable from 2020 to 2023-4. You know, untouchable. John Cena is one of my goats. You know, his heel turn still hurts me. Okay, like I am not saying this as like a Cody stan. I am a Cody fan, but I'm also smart enough and I am not insecure, I guess. And I'm insecure, but that's my point. Um, I I just appreciate good wrestling, you know, and I don't really have an agenda towards anyone. And yeah, and I think ultimately I'm a fan and I want to be entertained and I have patience with WWE, you know, and I think it's embarrassing how little patience a lot of people do have, you know. Um, you know, plus I feel like I have a lot in common with uh, Cody Rhodes. You know, we both are very handsome black men, and we both have this. You know, and obviously his is his is real. Mine obviously isn't. But one day in my life I intend to hold the the real thing. So, but yeah, we both hold this, and yeah, I just think whether you like it or not, it don't matter. Cody Rhodes is the guy, and that's not going to change. For years, this company has been trying to find the guy. It wasn't Roman Reigns. It wasn't Seth Rollins. It wasn't Brock Lesnar. It wasn't anybody else. Cody Rhodes is the guy. Like that is it, point blank. He is the guy, and if it really bothers you just that much, because I do think a part of it is like it is fake, you know. Like a part of it is just it is a a a gimmick. It is a thing to piss people off. But if it really bothers you that much, then stop watching. Stop watching. Go watch fucking I don't know TNA. Or go live in 2010s WWE and try and convince yourself that John Cena and Roman Reigns at their prime as babyfaces, as champions were good. Like You know what I'm saying? But just know, I expect all of you guys to come back in 10 years' time begging for Cody Rhodes to come back. So, yeah, that's all it is.
Who's mad?